So today's Monday. I hope that everything is going well for you. Um, Today was going good. I went and I saw my therapist and I talked to him about that I recently befriended an old schoolmate, and actually she was close to my best friend back in high school, and we would do everything together. And I refriended her, or put in a request, and she just accepted it, and we started talking, and things don't feel right. Um, she's of course changed. I've changed a lot since the son of mine passed away when he was 8, and that was back in 2000. And she was close to me through my pregnancies, and she spent time with my babies. But she was then told at the time that she couldn't have children, and now she has 2 grown adult children, and I'm estranged from mine, so it makes it kind of hard. Um, I don't want to talk about kids. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to be around kids, not any age. I mean, 20-year-old, something's like that, but not something's like that. Whatever. I'm very tired. But, and she said about getting together, but we moved away, so we're not going to be getting together. And even if we were close yet, I wouldn't have the desire to. And I talked to my therapist about it, and he said it's nostalgia. You have this idea in your head of when you were kids, teenagers are kids, and how close you were and the things you did, because I was like, oh yeah, we did this and we did that, and I talked to her, and it was just on Messenger. It wasn't on the phone, it wasn't in person, but I didn't know what to say. I've changed so much. I used to be an extrovert where, not life of the party, but I would have a lot of fun, and we were really close. We would hang out like every day, all day. We would do a lot of things together, and we said that we were going to be each other's maids of honor when we got married, and she ended up, going to get married, and she asked somebody else, and I wasn't even a bridesmaid. I was like supposed to be, I don't know, something else, and I was pretty hurt by that, but I ended up going to the wedding anyway, and and just kind of played it off. Yeah, it's David in the background. Thanks. I know you can't help it, but I was busy in the kitchen since we got home. He had a doctor's appointment. It's like he ran me to my appointment, he ran to his appointment, and then he ran back to get me from my appointment. And we got home, and I spent the entirety in the kitchen, just doing stuff. Obviously, what you do in the kitchen, cook. So just doing some stuff, not any meals or anything, but just some odds and ends shit. But it was an okay morning. The weather was decent, I guess. I really didn't pay attention until it was supposed to rain, and it was gloomy out, and I'm trying to get things done. And again, I had music on because that's what inspires me the most, is music. But the depression, and the gloom just makes me really depressed. And then whenever things happen that aren't good, I can know about it and think about it, and then in my head everything's fine. But when I have to talk about it, that's when I get emotional. And that's when I cry. So, I talked to David about my friend, and he's like, of course, do what you want, do what you feel is right. Well, I don't know, I'm asking for your opinion. If I knew, I wouldn't be asking. Same with my therapist. And like he said, we're living in the past, and things are so much different now. It's like we don't connect. She has this perfect life, and I have trauma and depression and mental illness, multiple illnesses. I don't feel the same. Am I jealous? Yes and no, because I watched her build this and I was really proud of her, and everything was going fine for me at the time, and then my world was good, but we had stopped talking because there was probably something petty that happened, and I don't know. But I can't say that I feel the same way that I used to. I don't know how to feel. I guess it's that simple. I thought I wanted friends, but I don't think I do. I have trust issues. My trust has been challenged so much. Adjustment. I need a new butt. Now it's blurry. What the fuck? But anyway, I don't know why. So, I just don't feel the same way that I used to. I used to trust people. I used to have a lot of friends, and just close friends, and just the trust issues during my separation and after my divorce, when all of my friends hightailed it over to his side, if you want to call it that. And it wasn't really fair to me, because I didn't do anything to them. He planted seeds in their heads of a lot of bullshit, and it really wasn't fair. He did it to my friends. He did it to my family. He did it to his family. He did it to the kids. He fucked me over. So, I have trust issues. I always think, oh, you're my friend, or are you a spy? And then I think, spying for what? What information would he want? I'm always really paranoid. For why? Yeah, for why? My grammar's great. It's just one of those days where I just have a lot of emotions going through me of uncertainty. I mean, honestly, I don't have anything in common with her. So, I have another friend who I hardly ever talk to, but her and I were friends as adults for like 9 years, and she never calls, she never messages, how are you, she never does anything like that, but that's how she is, and she's that way with everybody, not just me. And I just kind of ignore her to show her how it feels. But she doesn't seem to care how it feels. She doesn't seem to understand how it feels. I really don't know. But I'll ignore her. I mean, not ignore her. but pretty much. I won't talk to her for like, and it's always been this way, like 8 months, a year will go by, and nothing. And then I finally will give in, because I'm the sensitive one. Even though she hides her feelings, she doesn't let anybody know how she feels. And you gotta pry it out of her. But I know for a whole winter, fall and winter, she would be over every Saturday for months. And we'd play games, board games, and trivia games, and stuff like that. And it was months. And all of a sudden, spring came along, and that was it. She was done with us. So we felt kind of used. That was pretty hurtful. But we got over it, and it's like we helped her out with stuff, because she was a single mom. Now her kids are grown and out of the house. Well, her one kid's almost out of the house. I don't think she ever will be. But it's like, I think I'm just gonna name this video just vomiting my feelings. It's not, though. It actually is. I'm addressing my depression, and kind of what depression looks like, and what rejection looks like, and how rejection can be portrayed. These people may not be rejecting me, but that's how I feel, because I will put myself out there and I will really get nothing in return. And that leads back to my thing, when you give something, have no expectations. If you give somebody $20 or even lend them $20, don't expect it back. And that's sort of the mistake we made with her. She needed tires on her car really bad, and we were concerned for her safety, so we paid to get 4 tires on her car. And she said she would pay us back when she could, and kind of gave us a timeline, and she never did. So then I would have to get on her. Can you pay us something? Can you pay us? And then after not paying us, she had the audacity to, well, can you type up a receipt saying that I still owe you this, and I paid you this and that? And it's just like, wow. It's just awkward. It's weird how you didn't want a receipt saying we gave you $400 for your tires, but now you want receipts from us. But I guess that was our choice and trust, whatever. It's been a long day. I just was in the kitchen. I peeled a squash. I can't think of it. Butternut squash. Usually they're really, really hard to peel, but this one had been sitting there, and there was another one too that I managed somehow. I think I used a knife to peel, and you put them in the microwave and it makes it easier. This time I put it in the microwave, but I had bought 2 peelers, the proper, if you want to call it, the proper kind, the kind they say to use, and one was cheap, and it worked okay. It was from Temu, I believe, and the other one was metal, and I don't know where that one was from, if I bought that from Walmart, or it could have been Temu as my backup, just in case the other one broke. But yeah, I microwaved it for 5 minutes, and I was able to peel it easy, and then I cut it up, and I cooked most of it. I cut some of it up for the beardies, for my bearded dragons, and vacuum sealed 2 bag worth and put it in the fridge. So then when I want to either have some for myself, I didn't eat all that I cooked. God, I'd be squashed out. I'd be squished. I did put in the fridge, and I'll eat it I'll either eat some tomorrow or eat some later. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's been an interesting Monday. A lot of emotions, a lot of different feelings. It's been a bipolar day. You feel good one time, one moment, then you hear, the one that always gets me is I hear a song and I go, fuck that, not today, and I switch to the next song. I have that control at least, but I think this is going to be a bipolar Monday, as long as it's not Tuesday, because I'm really good at fucking up days. But it's just been one of those days of, I should just go to bed. I bought a new blanket, and I mentioned it yesterday, and it's really nice and soft. And I washed it, and I guess there's little red, it's red, and I guess there's little red pills all over everything. Who cares? David does. He's all freaked out. There's red balls all over everything, and I'll have to look at it. I'll take care of it. It's not a big deal. God. So, I can't sit still. I want to do other things. I'm not sure what I'm going to do the rest of the evening. Probably hang out on my computer. I've been working a lot on my YouTube channels, because I have another one, and I've been working on that and trying to fix my thumbnails and things that I'm learning along the way. It's a really good outlet for people who have emotional problems and emotional illnesses and mental illnesses. I hate to call them mental illnesses, so I skip the illnesses and just say mental. I'm mental. It just sounds funnier because I'm a fucking comedian. Whatever. So, I think the dogs are still outside. We got some spinach, and I thought it was something else that the bearded dragons can eat, and they really aren't supposed to eat spinach, but it's really good for the dogs. So I'm gonna mix that in with their food, and that'll make them, help them with their health. It's a top priority to make sure that they're healthy. We do the best we can. Their favorite is carrots. Every time they hear me chopping, and I'm chopping for the bearded dragons, they come in and it's carrots. They think it's carrots every time. So they come in. The bearded dragons can have apples. So I had gotten some apples, but like I mentioned before, they can only have, apples once a month. Cucumbers once a month. Well, if I buy a cucumber, you're going to get it a couple days in a row until it's gone. Because I'm not going to waste. I'm not going to do 2 slices and waste the rest. I don't want to eat it. So, like I said, it's been a manic Monday. Just up and down. They cut the corn down to the west of us, and then that blows a lot of dust, and they cut that down and it makes it a lot windier, so then it's colder, so I crank up the heat because I won't be cold. I refuse to be cold, and I fall asleep here in the chair and without a blanket, and I don't know how, but that's how tired I get. I took some Snapchat pics a little while ago, and I'm like, damn, I look good for being fucking tired. But I think it's a diazepam that's wiring me, because I'll stay up and I'll be like, Oh shit, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh shit, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept. And I'll stay up. And then we'll go for a ride. And then I'll fall asleep in the truck. Oh well. As long as you don't hit anything, I should be good. As long as nothing hits us, I should be good. So, the rest of the night I might just hang out on YouTube, learning more things about YouTube. How to get more likes, how to get more views. I can't say I don't care, but I do this more for myself as a venue to vent my feelings, and I'm my own therapist, okay? And I don't get paid jack shit. But it helps me to feel better, and I always hope that it'll help somebody else out. I'm going to be jittery in my chair for once because my stylus is missing. Oh, that's right. I went in the kitchen to get a new one, and I ended up cleaning the kitchen or I put away the squash, and I ended up doing other stuff, and I forgot to get a new stylus. So my other ones are dry, and they aren't working, and it's pissing me off. So I went in for a new stylus, and you know how that is. You go into a room, and you forget what you went in there for, and you do a dozen different things. Yeah, that's what happened. I'll be okay, I promise. And back to, here it comes. Yeah, I gotta check the time, because, oh, God. It seems like at a certain time during my videos, I have that damn cough. Like I said, it's gotta be dry, and it is dry in here. But, I was talking to my therapist. I forgot what I was talking to him about. Oh, because about last night, I believe it was, or yesterday's video, I talked about not going to the hospital, to wait and call your doctor, and don't go to the hospital because you'll regret it. And I can say that not all hospitals are like that. It just so happened the one I was in was like that. So he was pissed at me for telling my viewers not to go to the hospital. He'll get over it. I'll get over it, because it's the facts that, sure, hospitals vary, but I was clearly, and I said that as clearly speaking from my own experience of the hospital I was at. I also told him that I had to write, I wrote a disclaimer that I wasn't a therapist or a doctor, and that was the first line of my intro of my channel. And he's like, it's probably a good idea. And it's like, fuck no. If I didn't write it, too bad. If you can't figure out I'm not a therapist or a doctor, look at me. Do I look like a therapist or a doctor? I suppose my one therapist kind of looked like that. She was young, and she had like 11 tattoos. Her arms were just tatted. And, but, whatever. He didn't like the advice that I told people. And the 741-741 texting line is still valid. You can still text that for somebody to talk to. I talked to him about it, and he looked it up, and he said it is still valid. Because 988, I believe you can text. Last time I checked, I don't remember you could text a 3-digit number, but I guess you can. 988 is the National Suicide Awareness Hotline, I believe it's called. It's like a 4 or 5 word hotline. But the other one is if you're just feeling depressed, or if you have a problem and you don't know what to do, then you can call 741-741. 741. You can text that. And I don't know if they're counselors or if they're just people who can help you, but that is still valid. So I'm going to start to put that as tags and write that in my descriptions, that 988 and 741 are both valid helplines. So that's good to know that we look that up. Do I look tired? Like you're gonna answer me? Answer me through the screen, damn it. See, bipolar at its best. Down, around, up, back down. I hate it. I'll tell you that right out. I hate it. I hate the mental illnesses. I hate all that. But you know, when you have all that, then you say, what would I be like if I didn't have it? What was I like before? Was I born this way? I guess maybe it's just me, but have a lot of questions, had a lot of questions, realize those questions are pretty irrelevant because it is what it is. You are this way today, and you will be this way tomorrow, and you'll be this way the rest of your life. And there's not much you can do. There's stuff you can do about it, but I can't advise you of that. You gotta do what you gotta do for you. You gotta think of yourself. And like me, I feel selfish. But I'm not. I'm just trying to take care of myself. So I think I'm gonna cut this off. If you have any questions or concerns or whatever, I gave you resources. You can comment in the bottom part. You can do what you gotta do. If you do feel you have to go to the hospital, then go to the hospital. Don't go by my advice. My advice was just personal. Not at all professional. I'm far from professional. I don't want to be. Well, the only reason I'd want to be professional is for the money, and it's probably not a lot. Unless you're like a doctor or, you know, some shit like that. You know, I don't know how doctors do it because I have the weight on my shoulders of my issues. But I suppose they go to school and learn how to deal with other people's issues. I don't want other people's issues. I have my own. I have plenty. I have 10 pounds of shit in a 5-gallon bucket. Probably 20 gallons. And I try to not think about it. But it's there. It's in your body. It's in your brain. And all you can do is, I go to therapy every 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't need to go every 2 weeks. I can go every month. And then after I think that, I'm like, no, I need to go. Just to, you know, because my last doctor, well, my last therapist was a psychologist, and told me I didn't need to be there. You don't need this. I said, what do you mean I don't need this? Because you don't need to be here. You know everything that you need to cope. And I said, yeah, but I need somebody to vent to. I need somebody to talk to about stuff. And then he understood that. So, alright, well, I guess that's all. I'm exhausted. I'm sorry. I hope it made you yawn too. Maybe next time I'll try sneezing and see if that's contagious. Because yawning is, you know, you yawn and another person will yawn. So I hope it made you yawn. That would make my day. If you did yawn, drop a comment. I'd love to hear it. So, if you have anything, you'd like to tell me. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, you know where they go. And like, subscribe, share. I always forget to say that because it's like YouTube. Everybody knows that. It's Captain Obvious. Why do you have to drop that? I'm stubborn. So, have a good night, and hopefully it'll be sunny tomorrow, and no rain, and no dust, and no wind, and yeah, I can drink, can't I? Okay. Have a good night.